No, they sign up because they think it's fun. Those are people that need my help.
Oh.
So, like, if you needed to meet with me to revise a test.
Well, they're not in your class.
I know.
When David.
Do you get it
No,
now?
I was confused because yesterday they were talking about going to your class and helping the kids like upstairs do their math.
Yeah, no, that was Sammy. That's what we were talking about.
But she asked me
All right,
to come to the
so
party.
it is just a review preview. You guys are pretty good at figuring that out. Yep, and we don't have as long for class today, so I would love to get us rolling, although we shouldn't need a full class period, so we're okay.
Oh boy.
Who wants to summarize what we did yesterday?
We had done.
Nobody remembers yesterday? Just like came and went?
No, it feels like it
Athena?
was literally 24 hours ago.
What do you mean the time probability? You've been doing that since like 7th grade.
Oh, the tree diagram.
I was trying to get Athena to talk more, but then everybody talks.
Wait, what was the homework?
29 through
So we found probability by using a model, right? So when we discuss probability, depending on the question, yeah, 29 through 34. Depending on the question is going to depend on, do we need a model? What type of model is appropriate? What type of model will actually work or not work? So there are situations where a probability table will not work, but a tree will. Right? So we're going to explore what situations need what type of models to help us solve that probability. So in 323, anyone want to try to pronounce this? You're close. Rochambeau.
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 Sounds like a wine.
You may have heard of it
Sounds
before.
like a wine.
Okay. I don't know why that's
I feel like
what
wine
you think
has
about.
That's when I looked at it, I thought this would have been, and then I'm like, no, that can't be it.
Sounds like champagne.
Okay, so hold up. We have a task. So list the names of the people in your team alphabetically, and we're all going to be one big team. Do you want to go first names or last names? Okay, so let's go first names. Athena, right, would be A, then David. You're supposed to be writing these things down.
Oh, wait, what are we writing?
So Athena will be player A.
Don't use the word.
Now, right now, the fourth, that's graphing paper. Oh, well, there's some back there already. Open.
Fine.
I'll open more of the quote-unquote good kind for up here.
Liang's like, I refuse to take the juice. Okay, so Athena, then me. And then who?
Now, we can only play 3 people at once, so for the first round, we're going to have 2 recorders.
What? Oh, is that going to be me and Sammy since we're the last couple?
Up to you guys. I don't need to
The last one.
So, now this is not your normal rock, paper, scissors.
Oh.
Player A, so Athena, right, gets a point each time all 3 players match.
Why?
Player B gets a point. Who's B? David? Gets a point every time 2 of the throws match.
Well, then I feel like
And player C gets a point each time no one matches. They're all unique outcomes. Do we understand the parameters?
I feel like I have
player C is the best choice.
How do you know?
Well, I'm going to do an experiment.
Oh, look at
Don't
this.
ruin the experiment. So, we need the 3 people playing to stand up and get in, a triangle, I guess. I was going to say circle, but that would be so inappropriate. There's only 3 people. It's not a circle.
So, why did you say inappropriate?
Because it's not appropriate to call it a circle. Alright, so you guys all understand the rules of rock, paper, scissors, but I'll clarify one thing. Rock, paper, scissors in its correct format, according to me, is rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
You shoot on shoot.
You throw on shoot. Or rock, paper, scissors, throw. Right? So whatever you do.
Rochambeau.
If you don't want to say shoot, you can say throw.
Can we just do Rochambeau?
Why don't you say shoot?
Godzilla.
Everyone does watch soccer.
So some of my seventh graders can follow directions. We are going to do this 20 times, which now I'm starting to worry might take
My
forever.
soccer team, everyone just Godzilla. The coach says that word.
Does that pertain to what we're doing right now?
Oh shoot.
I already won, guys. I'm the best at rock paper scissors.
You have no.
Oh, yeah, we can't even win. This is all about outcomes. This isn't even
I know, guys. Hey, make their names because I want to make them bad. Okay, are
Oh,
you
wait,
guys ready?
can I put my name in?
Okay, you guys ready? What are we doing?
Oh, I'm waiting.
Okay, ready?
Patient.
Paper, scissors, shoot. I win.
Two rocks.
So I win. I got a point. Someone write that.
So player B.
R team.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Can you tell us what it is?
Yeah, you guys have to tell us the
I got
results.
a point again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Athena.
Okay, yeah.
Do they all match?
Yeah, Athena gets one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay, I get a point.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yeah.
You're gonna
Wait.
win.
Can you say
Rock,
who it is?
I got a point.
Okay.
So
You
go
know
on.
what? I didn't see
Okay,
anything.
Athena hands one, I three.
Yeah, I got it.
Rock.
Paper, rock.
You don't say what you're
Paper,
throwing.
scissors, shoot.
It's the music.
I still get the
Yeah,
point.
he's gonna win.
I have four. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. No,
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Rock, paper,
You try and shoot.
Athena.
Rock,
Paper, scissors, shoot. What the frick?
Okay, I'm not even recording it because I'm leaving this
Shoot.
You guys are making this activity fall apart. Where is Sophia getting it?
I still get the point.
It's not like I can see what they all
I get a point. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock. Okay, we're not even trying to. You're getting close.
Oh, no, I got it. Okay, so, you've done 15 rounds.
Five more.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
I get it.
Yeah,
Trust me, you'd rather work with 20 than 15.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
I get a point.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Leanne's like, I'm gonna go on.
Right?
Wait, stop a moment.
Stop moment?
Stop a moment. Okay, let me figure it out.
David definitely won.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just about at 20 there.
There's
So
only
I
one
didn't count that
possibility
last
for me,
round.
but David has like, he has like 3
Leanne's like, I have the
I
highest.
know, I saw it.
You have two.
Now, what if I offer up
What?
that
Me and Athena have the same probability.
No.
Yeah, we do. No, probability, not.
Mr.
We have
Hudson's
a
like,
three-
I think not.
We have a 3 out of something, and then if you both have 3 out of something, he has to.
what if I offer up
Fortnite.
that if you guys can determine and show
But we didn't get our
how,
candy.
that's what I'm offering up.
You're giving us our own candy?
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Wait, did we get candy
Yeah,
No, we didn't.
You know what, Liang? Life's not fair.
You lied
Quit
to us.
complaining about your teachers being nice to you.
Guys, let's go on boycott strike because he didn't give us our
What if
candy.
I would complain every time my, I don't know, students interrupted me?
Oh.
Oh, you.
I mean,
Oh,
there was
God.
no
Then
bet
David
on
would
that.
not be in this class.
There was no bet on that.
You literally just interrupted what I was trying to say. To be bothered
You
about
played yourself.
candy, which I don't think a disruptive class deserves candy. No, you're not a disruptive class. So here's my challenge to you. Aside from you being able to assert, oh, so-and-so's probability is higher, if you can show me the exact probabilities of each of you winning, right? So 2 matched, none, you were none matched, right? All unique, and all 3 matched, right? I want presented what each of your actual probabilities of winning the game was, so we can compare that to our experiment. The board is yours.
Let's write every single possible outcome first.
That's inefficient.
Oh,
Tree
tree
thing.
diagram.
Trees. Yeah.
Trees.
Is there a way to use a not tree diagram?
No.
You can make a tree diagram.
Let's see. Okay.
Well, maybe.
I
It's gravity.
I made the diagram.
Can I do the cool one?
Oh.
Sophia already
I
made
keep
the
forgetting.
design.
I was working on it. I got to
Is this the
Oh
one?
my god.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You feel cool now?
So,
That feels like a teacher.
The pens are right by David.
What?
wait, are you doing the tree
Right there.
diagram? You need to make it very big.
We're gonna do the magic pen because.
No, don't do the magic pen. Magic pen's bad.
No,
You really don't want to use a magic pen. It'll try to turn your writing into letters.
That's what.
Oh, that's too
Yeah,
thick.
wait, okay.
That's too thick, you guys.
This was a mistake.
Okay, but no, you want to make it really
I'm
big.
pretty sure this will work better if one person is there at a time.
Yes.
Me, I'll do it.
Who's grab paper?
Okay,
So-
I'll do it.
Sophia. So
You're
how
still on
about-
the eraser.
R, you got,
Wait, you want it to be much bigger.
yeah, we have to take a photo.
You're gonna have like 27 different things in there.
Oh my gosh, why is this?
Your hand is dragging on the
I'm
screen.
like this.
Maybe Sophia should draw the
Let
tree.
Sophia do it.
I
Yeah,
vote
I
Sophia.
do Sophia.
Okay, so
You're like, guys, you know what we can afford? Mr. Hudson just send this to us, this video, and we can all laugh later on.
It'll be on YouTube.
What if YouTube dies when we turn 40?
I highly doubt that. Google owns it now.
Oh,
there's 3 different things. This is first person choose rock, scissors, or paper. And then it each splits into 3 things, so they're all gonna get cut. You can still read that.
yeah.
Like a level
That looks like an
below.
O now, but okay.
That would make sense, yeah.
That looks like magic. Oh, we're killing all of them.
Yeah, the
Guys,
rock
we
would
just
die.
spend our time writing and erasing and writing and
So, if you're not Sophia, let's go ahead and sit down and draw a tree diagram on our paper.
Could I sit on this thing?
No, we don't like to work.
It takes a long time.
Miss Max said mathematicians are lazy.
Because then we would need a clipboard and all that stuff,
No.
and we only have until 10:01.
So each of these are.
So, my preference is vertical tree diagrams, but that's also just because your paper is taller than it is
Yeah,
wide.
this is wide.
Right, so the screen is wider than it is tall.
Okay, good.
So, up to you how you draw it. But as Sophia is wonderfully demonstrating, we label each of our branches with rock or paper or scissors.
And then, oh my gosh, guess what? It branches out again.
No
Why?
boy.
How much time? Because there are 3 of you.
Oh my gosh, there's
Wait,
not
now-
enough space. That's-
Wait.
Oh no,
You
Mr. Hudson
understand
said
where
the
my
W
brain is
word.
going.
We need to stop you
I
guys.
understand where my brain is going.
Guys, Hudson said the W word.
Nah.
He said, wait.
So, they branch off into 3.
So, one thing that's nice about this situation, unlike the rat maze yesterday, what are we going to know about this tree diagram as we make it? Think back to the math we were doing to figure out the final probabilities. We had uncommon denominators, right?
These would be common.
Yeah, why?
Because they all have the same.
You're all threes.
Every split is thirds,
Yeah.
right? So we have a 1/3 chance of getting that. I'm just going to follow the middle branch out, I guess. We have a 1/3 chance of somewhat like that first scissors being thrown. We have a 1/3 chance of the second scissors being thrown. And we have a 1/3 chance of that third scissors being thrown. So every end of this tree,
Oh no.
so for you, you're not know like when I say this, but you know that you could have scrolled your screen down and you could have made a vertical one.
It's alright.
And like, ooh, wait, you only split it 3 times, right?
Yeah, only 3. That's why there are so many lines.
Wait,
All right, so Sophia, for you to be able to get it on your paper, I think we all get it. So thank you very much. That is a wonderful iteration of what we need to do. So paper, 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 right? This would be our 3 paper matches. Our scissor, 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 and rock, 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 lobster. So if I'll go ahead and keep using Sophia's. I was going to make a different one, but this is good. If we look at what the chance of this paper, paper, paper all match, who won on the all match? Okay. What is that paper, paper, paper probability?
127.
127. How many of these do we get?
3.
3 iterations, right? The scissors, 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 and rock, rock, rock.
I am very.
So 3 27ths belongs to Ed.
Yeah, poor him.
Then David would win on the how many match?
I get 2 artists.
On the 2 match. So this paper branch, as long as it didn't go to paper, so scissors or rock, and each of those are 1/27. So out 1 branch, we get 2 27ths. Is that going to be the same for every branch?
Yes.
Oh, no.
What?
Because they have.
Follow this. Paper, not paper. This has to be paper.
Oh.
That's a 1/27. Yes. What about paper, not paper? Has to be paper. 1/27.
So each branch wouldn't have 4 27s?
Each branch, hypothetically, if that, I mean, would that stay true on each of the branches?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I mean, we have 1 case of scissors, scissors, so then 2 out here, and then scissors, paper, gotta be scissors, scissors, rock, gotta be scissors.
So it'd be 12 27s?
Ah, yeah, 4 27s times 3. So this would be 12 27ths. Sorry, I know I hopped in and helped take over, but we have only 10 minutes left for class.
What?
Yeah, sorry. Welcome to cookout day. You guys are going to be going home before you realize it. But with Dairy Queen in your stomach.
Oh,
And
yeah.
some of you
Oh,
might
and
have
then
screaming chickens.
Right.
Not me.
So,
Not me either.
It's all the 7th graders.
The third place team gets screaming chickens.
Hey, who's the 3rd place team?
I'll show you the video of screaming chickens before we get out of class.
wait, Mr. Hudson.
Yes.
Are you going to be going to the
Sorry,
race on Tuesday because it's Wolves and Cardinals?
Yes.
No,
At the
don't
flats.
go.
No, I told you guys it's at the flats.
I know it's at the flats, but I know it's both of us, so I didn't know if you were going to that one because it'd be both.
Do we have to follow the branches to figure out C winning?
No.
C is all the other situations, right?
Yeah,
So essentially
so we
the complement?
just do 27 minus 15.
Yeah, which is
That would be.
Wait.
That was false then.
Wait,
I
I
had
have
more
the
than
same
Leanne.
probability? Leanne has the same
And then
probability.
David
No,
got
it's just
more.
a chance.
so. I mean, what do you guys think? You kept saying that
We rigged it.
these weren't equal.
Pussy.
Yeah, actually, all that matters is that Leanne.
One person talking at a time normally works better.
Okay, so I think part of it is that like it wasn't completely random because like we had some input. So and like a lot of people like normally tend to do like certain things. Like I know I normally tend to do 2 of them over the 3rd.
I kind of want to ask you which 2, but I kind of want to let that be a secret.
No. Tell us.
No, it's a secret.
Do you normally throw something? Like
Yes,
specific to start?
Yes.
Do you modify your throws based off what the other person?
Yeah.
Do you think the other person's modifying their throw based off what you threw?
Yeah.
So, no, but it's like, that's why I hate rock, paper, scissors. It's
You have
like you're
to
guessing
guess
what
what
they're
they're
guessing that you're guessing, basically. It's confusing, that's what I'm saying.
You have to guess what they're guessing that you're guessing.
What's the probability when 2 people play that you match? 'Cause isn't that frustrating? 'Cause
I
then you
feel
have
like whenever like it's for fun or like for competition, people always think to match like 5 times in a row, and
Yeah,
then
same.
Are tree diagrams clean?
No.
They
I
look
mean,
ugly.
they can. We can make them nicer, right? But they're not that.
Mine's a little.
If we only had 2 people playing this, would you choose to make a tree diagram?
No.
No,
What would you make?
a
Make
better
area model.
Area model probability, right? So remember that when we have just a binary situation, like 2 things happening, I guess that binary is probably not the right use because that would be 2 outcomes. But when we have 2 situations happening, we can use a
Oh my gosh, what's it?
area model.
You said-
So, what?
You really like those 2 screens.
Oh, yeah. Magic.
You just threw it. Yeah, what? You just threw it right
They're
now.
connected to each other,
Did
but
you
not
not
really.
know that could happen?
Wow.
I feel like I need karate noises when I do this. Like,
Oh, yeah.
all right.
And my
So-
mom, she has like 2 screens and she accidentally throws things to the other one all the time.
How do you accidentally? All right. There is a new game at school called Pick a Tile, in which the player reaches into 2 bags and chooses 1 square tile and 1 circular tile. And there's a mouse in them. It might bite your finger. The bag's square tiles contain 3 items. 3 yellow,
Okay.
1 blue, and 2 red squares. The bag of circle tiles has 1 yellow, 2 red, and in order to win the game, and a large stuffed animal. Ooh, stuffed animal. A player must choose 1 blue square and 1 red circle. So, I want you to set up a model to determine the probabilities of us actually being able to win. I believe in you. It's not a scam.
I think it is a scam. It turns out there's no blue square.
Yeah, it turns out there's no blue square.
There's one, yeah. Wait, so blue square and red
Only
circle?
one blue square.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's only one.
Half a
Six,
red
right?
circle.
It's just 1 out of 6. Yeah.
So it's one circle.
Oh, no, it's not. It's even
One
worse.
blue,
It's even worse. It's 1 out of,
one blue.
1 out of,
It's like
it's 1 out of 6. For
yeah,
blue.
1/6 and 2/3, so that's 2.
Wait,
So that's
218.
Are you gonna drive the board now?
Oh, Sammy.
So it's
I would-
it's about
I would area model if I was you, as we just talked about. Since there's only 2 things happening here.
make it
Two
really big
bags.
one, or else it's gonna be really cramped.
area model, so
Yeah.
like the really big
Yeah,
square.
a big rectangle.
So are you guys starting to see why I like the 2 screens? We can still see the textbook
Wow.
So
while
Except
Sammy's
it's
doing
really low on
this.
the
Are
ground.
you the only classroom of 2 TVs? Oh.
No, he's not.
I forget what I was trying to
No, I guarantee other rooms.
Oh.
Like Mr. Kabila has a smart board and a TV in his room.
Well,
Square.
that's smart.
So squares.
So is this.
This is a cooler circle.
Well, yeah, it's newer, but it's the replacement for smart
Newer,
boards.
you see.
Yeah, exactly.
Why did they?
Are you doing the squares first?
I was gonna do squares.
Well, yeah, this one
Okay.
doesn't even have.
How many square tiles are there?
This is actually
There's
way better.
6.
Okay.
This one doesn't even have
Right?
a projector.
Okay. So what is that section that you're labeling?
It's gonna be squares.
Well, yeah, but which is no, you're not wrong. But what are you labeling that up top? What color is that?
What color? Yellow, blue, red.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
So wait, how are you setting up your area model? Let's make sure we remember how to build an area model table.
Don't you do like squares? So I do like squares and then circles.
Yeah. So each axis, in a way, they're not really axes, but each direction describes one of the events happening. So you can still recover this, but that top left you should label square like yellow.
I was gonna do square. and then-
Name it yellow. So
Wait,
and
there's
then
3
the entire
squares,
top
so I should do. I don't. Okay, you could do circles.
Now wait, should Sammy divide this table into thirds for the squares?
No, but it would be easier if you did.
If,
Because it'd be easier to draw.
if we want to see it, then it would be easier to split into 6. But if we want to just see the numbers, then
Yeah, let's just put it in the third so we can see the numbers.
Thirds are what we are dealing with, but sixths are really what we're dealing with because now hold on, let me help you out here. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit to make your life easier.
Why didn't we just do that earlier?
Oh, I didn't know we could do that.
So if we do this, then we can drop a line essentially down the middle.
Oh snap.
But then our final section,
Split each half into thirds.
if I split this like that, do you know how to label?
so then that'd be 1 blue, that'd be 2, and that'd be 3.
So go ahead and label. So you could write squares at the very top, and then below that, now you might have to
All
select
this
10.
other
No.
You will eventually need to be able to do it on mastery. So you answer that question for yourself.
I don't want to.
Square.
I know
Is that how I spell squares? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
I can't spell.
3 yellow.
Why?
3.
Just write 3 while you have to.
There's 2.
Now, I agree with where you put that. I disagree with you writing 3.
Oh, 3, 6.
Ah, write the probability of it.
It's fine.
So then on the left axis,
Would be
circles. Here, I can help you out again.
Okay.
1 yellow and 2 red, right?
Ah, yeah.
So it's in half, yeah.
So
Here, hold up.
I don't know what he's doing.
So it's in magic.
Magic.
Okay. 10.
Okay. So 2. So that'd be 2/3
Mm-hmm.
Just wait.
I'd rather stay in this class than any other class.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
This is actually fun.
I like this class.
We gotta write on boards and stuff.
And the other class.
That's probably the only reason you think it's fun.
No.
Like,
We
Mr. Hudson has a
actually
TV that we can write on.
Yeah, I feel like we're actually like learning stuff.
Yeah.
The only class where it's like do this. Do that.
So wait, how do we win?
More papers. Other
Okay, we
class.
have to do the probabilities.
How do we win?
If we pull,
I guess I'm not doing this anymore.
Apparently Liang hijacked your problem.
Apparently.
Okay, so that's 2.
You could have played rock, paper, scissors to see who.
Okay.
So blue square, red circle.
I need
Right?
to draw
So I
a-
would like highlight that region or something to say like this is our winning region. And then let's figure out that probability. How do we figure out the probability of that region?
Dang, if you end up wanting me to
We
like
multiply. So if we have 1/6 blue, 2/3 red, what is the probability?
2/18.
2/18 or 1/9. So if there's a 1/9 chance of winning,
Oh, that's sad.
hypothetically, according to the math, how much money could I spend before I'm expected to $18?
Disgusting. But the prize is
Right,
worth
so-
$1 anyway.
So here's my advice to you. You're out on a date, right? You got your partner on your side, and you're like, okay, so I could win you this stuffed
Hudson's
animal.
giving love tips.
I am. These are Hudson's advice for a happy life. So you walk into this game, right? And you're like, well, let me analyze this data real quick. Let me do some math and really, partner, I want to win you a stuffed animal, but there's only a 1/9 chance. And since it costs $2 for each play, I
They
could
might
spend
just-
$18.
might just
Hold on,
leave
hold on,
off
hold on.
myself.
I could spend $18 trying to win you this animal, or I could just go buy you something.
Wouldn't you be more scared of all that exposition you just gave?
Yeah.
I'm trying to make this humorous, but this
That
is
was a
where
lot of exposition.
like these fair games, fair as in the circus fair sort of
Not
whatever,
fair.
not fair as in equal chance. You really got to analyze and say, is it worth my time and money? Is it
Probably
worth?
not.
And that doesn't guarantee that you win once out of the 9 times that you play. You could keep losing if you're anything like me, and like have to keep paying money until eventually you win. And that's why I play games like skee ball, where I can determine the outcome.
But to be honest, who would say all of that? Who would you say
Once
all
you're
of
that invested.
Did you say all of that to your wife?
Do you think he said that?
Oh, I will. Don't put it past me to actually like look at my wife and say, well,
Oh no.
we could do this thing, but like I don't play a lot of games of chance. That wouldn't be a
Because you know the
conversation that we.
Because you
Yeah.
know it's
That wouldn't be a conversation that needs to happen because she just knows.
She knows.
She knows that I'm frugal, and I'd rather just spend the money buying her what she wants.
Aw.
So Jerry had said the answer was 1/6. They were wrong. All right. So I skipped. What do you? Okay, you've taken over my mouse again. Oh, 2 9ths, right?
See,
We ain't hijacking everything.
Liang likes to.
So that would have been 4/18ths, which is 2 9ths, not 2 18ths. Do we add up right? 1/9, 1/9, 4 9ths,
Equals.
4 9ths, 8 18ths, 9 18ths. 3 more, 12 18ths. Yeah, this seems right. All right, so obviously we merged a couple problems according to the CPM layout, but I'm just about out of time. So 25 was actually the area model to do that. 26 is reinforcing the fact that when we make an area model, we actually want to make it an area model, so we make higher probability, have larger chances. So if Rimshot McGee has a 70% free throw average, which nah. And here's why this table's so interesting. In basketball, which all that makes me think of is a drummer, like Rimshot. Nobody? Okay. So in basketball, there is a shot called a 1-and-1, which is a free throw situation where if you make the first shot, you get the second shot. If you miss the first shot, you're done. So this area model shows the manipulation to an area model, and you can start packing up, we're getting out of here, of when the second situation only happens if a first situation occurs. So shot 1, notice that if we miss, it's just, that's the rest of the table going this way. But shot 2 is split to if we get a make on shot 1, then we might make the second or miss the second. Yeah, so we can manipulate these situations to match our whatever. Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Guys, we are Mr. Hudson.